to me, Daniel, who do you think gave you those corners anyways? And so I want to be obedient to God. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give Pastor Sarah a corner. And God multiplies the one corner that I give away. God multiplies it in her hands. She's able to reach people. She's able to go around the world telling people about Jesus. And so I gave her one corner, but God multiplied it in her hands. And let's count how many corners she has. 1, 2, 3, plus Marilyn, 4, 5, 6. So get this, I start with 4, give away 2. They have 6 corners, and look what God has given me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. God doesn't forget about me. He gives me a tremendous harvest in my own life. You see, when you give to God, He will multiply what you have. If you try to keep it for yourself, it'll never be more than what it is right now. But if you give to God, if you give into God's kingdom, then God will multiply it. He'll multiply it in Marilyn and Sarah's hands because they'll be able to reach lots of people. And God will multiply what you have in your hands. All your needs will be met, and you'll have more than enough left over to do everything that you want to be able to do in your life.
Now you're watching this program and you say, wow, I really have some needs. And I want to encourage you to get on our website and tell us those needs and let us pray. But I want to encourage you also that we will be offering this book at the end of the program, The Power of the Seed, and it is just out of this world. As I said, I travel with this book. I've traveled with it for years. I would never think of going overseas without The Power of the Seed, because he takes, Daniel, you take all these various people of the Bible and the books of the Bible, and you show the power of the seed in that book. And the power of the seed is the power of increase, really. Paul said, I planted, Apollos watered, but God gives the increase. So the planting and the watering is taking care of the seed, but the increase, and it means an ever-occurring increase. Tell us something that's happened in your life that's very powerful from seed sowing.
I remember several years ago, I had the opportunity to go and visit Oral Roberts. And it was such a wonderful opportunity because Oral is one of the greatest men of God of our generation. And on the way to visit Oral Roberts, God spoke to me and said, Daniel, I want you to give $1,000 to Oral Roberts. And I thought I'd misheard God. I thought God wanted Oral to give me $1,000. Because let me tell you, I started out in ministry as a clown. We would travel and do children's ministry at churches all over America. And children's ministry is great, but the offerings aren't that great. I remember one time we had an offering of $5.43. And so we had traveled and ministered. We'd saved up this $1,000. I was going to use it for a mission trip. But God told me to sow it into Oral Roberts. Not because Oral needed money, but because God knew that I needed a harvest. And so that was everything I had in my bank account. But we made out the check, gave it to Oral Roberts, and that $1,000 seed broke the back of poverty in my life. When I gave that $1,000 seed to Oral Roberts, it absolutely revolutionized our ministry. We went from receiving just maybe $10 or $15 offerings to now people gave us thousands of dollars. Now we've been able to use that to go to nations all over the world. And I'm convinced that if I had not sown that $1,000 seed into the life of Oral Roberts, then God would never have been able to give me the tremendous harvest that He has.
That's really good. And something I think every person watching needs to get, the power of the seed. This would be a tremendous, tremendous resource, and I think as well provide lots of enlightenment and some keys in their hearts that people need regarding their finances, but also the idea of seed. So I want to encourage you, in just a few minutes you'll know how to get this, but I encourage every person watching, grab this book. It'll be a tremendous blessing in your life on the power of the seed.
Daniel King has preached the gospel in more than 30 countries, inspired by his vision of leading 1 million people to Christ. Today we are offering Daniel's book, The Power of the Seed, containing 300 keys to understanding the power of the seed, arranged in order from Genesis to Revelation. In addition, we're including Marilyn's Seed Secrets CD and booklet. These thank you gifts are yours with a gift of $35 or more to help us sow God's love and power around the world. Click or call today.